particularly if you're looking for an international job, you are going to go to one of the job boards like LinkedIn or Indeed or monster.com or careerbuilder.com. And these are all great places where there are lots and lots of jobs posted. And the problem is that it's very easy to apply for these jobs, and people will send a resume or maybe a resume and cover letter. We don't usually use the term CV over here. You probably call them CVs back home, but here we're looking for a 2-page resume at most, and you don't hear anything back. They say, thank you for applying, maybe, but you don't hear a response as to whether or not the employer is interested. And some people apply and apply and apply. They do 100 applications, more, and they haven't gotten any interviews. So this is definitely a sign that the job search is on the wrong track. And we want to make it really easier and more successful, because if you apply for 100 jobs and don't hear that anybody's interested in hiring you, is definitely going to affect your self-confidence. And your self-confidence is a precious resource. So you want to protect that by making sure that you are not putting yourself in that position. So what I would recommend, and this might surprise you, is not to work harder and apply, but actually to apply for fewer jobs, but actually to do so more effectively. So let's go through 2 truths and a lie about a resume, okay? So I'm going to read these to you. You have to think about them and decide which one is the least true, okay? So number 1, candidates whose resumes show they have a background closest to the job requirements are likely to be interviewed. Number 2, candidates with the best written, most impressive looking resumes are likely to be interviewed. Number 3, candidates with the resumes that contain the most relevant keywords are likely to be interviewed. So you heard them all now. I'm going to read them to you one more time so you can think about it, because this is a tricky one, like I said. Number 1, candidates whose resumes show they have a background closest to the job requirements are likely to be interviewed. 2, candidates with the best written, most impressive looking resumes are likely to be interviewed. And 3, candidates with the resumes that contain the most relevant keywords are likely to be interviewed. Let's see if anybody can put in the comments which one they think it is. Number 1, 2, or 3. Which one is the least true? Number 3, I guess. Okay. Anybody else want to guess? I think number 3 is the least true. Okay. Anybody else? Okay. Well, thank you for the 2 who are awake and jumping in here. The answer is actually number 2. The candidates with the best written, most impressive resumes are likely to be interviewed. Well, having a well-written, nice-looking resume is important, but it's not enough to get you an interview. So this one is the least true. The most true are that the candidates whose resumes show they have a background closest to the job requirements are likely to be interviewed, and that candidates with resumes that contain the most relevant keywords are likely to be interviewed. So what that means for you is that, yes, you want your resume to be well written and tidy, but it doesn't have to be impressive looking. It doesn't have to be fancy. It doesn't have to have big words. It needs to show that A, you have what they're looking for. So read those job requirements before you put your self-confidence on the line and apply. And number 2, you have to have the keywords that they put in the job posting. So how are you going to find out what the keywords are? You can either read through the job posting and you decide which are the keywords based on which are the most important words that they mentioned. And the keywords have to do with the subject they want your degree to have been in, the job duties. For example, if they say, you will be, let's say for when I hired for a recent job, I said, you will be providing client service by answering phone calls, and emails. So the keywords there would be client service, phone calls, emails. And under the qualifications, I might have said, you must be patient and courteous. You must be coachable. You must have strong written and oral communication. So your keywords are going to be patient, coachable, courteous, oral, and written communication. So you can do that by yourself, or you can use a technological tool called JobScan, jobscan.co. And I will put that right here in the chat. Oh, I don't see how I can put a comment. Well, that's weird. Okay, well, somebody else maybe can put it in the comments. Jobscan.co, C-O, is a great tool that you can use to check what the keywords are. And you can even put your resume in and they'll compare and they'll tell you, well, there are, 8 keywords that are in the job posting that are not in your resume yet. And then you can go in and add those in. All right, so somebody just wrote in how to find online jobs for experienced retired health personnel. Interesting question. Well, there are going to be online jobs for all kinds of fields, including health. It doesn't matter if you're retired as long as you want to go back to work. There are some jobs that will be available for remote work. So you might not even have to leave Pakistan.